Hafade, Guam, and world. This is KUAM News Weekend Edition. I'm Jason Salas, and these are tonight's top stories. And we begin with our crime of the week, as Guam Crime Stoppers is hoping you, the community, can assist with a recent break-in event at one of the island's public schools.
Hafade, I'm Sergeant Paul Tupau, your Guam Crime Stoppers coordinator, and this is your crime of the week. The Guam Crime Stoppers is seeking the assistance from the community relative to a burglary complaint that occurred at D.L. Paris Elementary School located in Jigo. Now, the preliminary report suggests that on Friday, April 15, at around 8:25 in the morning, school officials had discovered that the main office had been broken into by unknown individuals. An assessment was made where it was learned that 7 other classrooms had also been broken into. It is unknown at this time if any items had been taken. Now, the students from D.L. Paris is seeking assistance from the community relative to this case investigation. If anyone has any information that can aid our investigators, you are kindly asked to submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All tip information will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
To election news now, more island residents are looking to serve in public office as new packets have been picked up, according to our friends at the Guam Election Commission. Former Senator Mana Silva Tyron and Fred Schmidt picked up packets of their own for senator on the Republican side of the ballot. Tyron, as you may recall, served a single term in the legislature and has more than 20 years experience in journalism. She told KUAM News, quote, she's still considering a possible run. Angel Sablan and Will Parkinson are looking to run both as Democrats in the senatorial race. Sablan, as you know, has been Mayor's Council of Guam Executive Director for nearly 14 years. He also served for 12 years as Deputy Director and Director for the Guam Department of Corrections. In total, over 3 decades in GovGuam service as an unclassified employee. He said in a statement, "No decision on my part yet to run." Parkinson previously ran for senator. Meanwhile, Mark Mendiola confirmed with KUAM News exclusively that he is not looking to return to the Guam Education Board next year. He's focusing on family issues. Mendiola has been on the board for the last 5 years. To register to vote and for more information on those looking to serve, come January 2023, visit gec.guam.gov. Also tonight, history in the making, as Guam's first ever Tree City USA campus was recently launched in Barrigada at Untalan Middle School. Here's more.
On Arbor Day, which has been celebrated across the nation for the last 15 decades, Untalan Middle School completed the first phase of the Native Tree Garden project. Arbor Day is observed on the last Friday of April. PJ St. Nicholas works for Hawaii-based nonprofit called Smart Trees Pacific, which is contracted to do urban and community forestry work with the Guam Department of Agriculture and Soil Resources Division. He's a program coordinator for the Urban and Community Forestry Program and recently led the project at the home of the Wildcats, which consisted of planting 45 native trees of 8 different species.
It started with Benny Chargaloff, a teacher out of Untalan Middle School. He requested for a native tree garden, and from there we worked together to put together a plan, and it turned into the native tree garden that we have today.
Smart Trees Pacific focuses on urban and community forestry that serves Hawaii and the Pacific Islands. Urban and community forestry projects were designed to educate the public and focus on planting trees on urban public lands. Benny Chargaloff, a science teacher at UMS, says his goals are in line with the mission of the program.
Big vision was not only to start a native garden, but also start a outdoor classroom. So this is going to transform. You're going to see some benches that are sustainable benches that are going to be built with bamboo, wood, things of the such, so that we can also incorporate classes outdoors.
This is actually the second established garden at UMS. The first consisted of okra, eggplant, tomato, and 2 varieties of both basil and spinach. The second garden is native trees, which originate here on the island or are brought here naturally either by birds or ocean currents. With the expansion of this project and shooting to bring value by perpetuating sustainability and our culture, Chargaloff looks forward to the project getting bigger.
This garden is going to grow with our school community, and it's something that me as a teacher, I was very proud of giving back to the school. The school has given me more than I could ever ask for.
A memorandum of understanding was established to protect the garden with ensuring student safety as a top priority. The project has been in the works since October of 2021, and it's only growing larger, according to St. Nicholas.
I think what's great about this project is that it was a request from a middle school teacher for a small courtyard, but the whole science department got involved, as well as the principal. Upon her request, we're actually setting ourselves up to be or to have native and also naturalized trees around the whole school campus.
St. Nicholas looks forward to standing up signs of QR codes all around the campus, which will contain basic information, such as basic characteristics, places you can find them, cultural and medicinal uses, as well as links to video playlists where more detailed tree information will be available. Students will do school projects, research these trees, and present them to their peers. The chosen groups will provide videos for these tree signs. The Native Tree Garden Project is funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's State and Private Forestry Program and the Guam Bureau of Statistics and Plans. For more information, you can call the Forestry and Soil Resource Division at 671-300-7975 or 7977, email forestry@doag.guam.gov, and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at doag.forestry. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonah Gonchafris.
All right, Joan, thanks so much. Great story. To regional headlines now. Up in the NMI, a new Sesame Street-inspired children's show hopes to make learning the Chamorro language and culture accessible and fun. As our Tomas Manglotnia reports, they're running on Island Time.
It's showtime for the cast and crew behind Island Time.
It teaches Chamorro, teaches the Chamorro language and celebrates Chamorro culture through sort of a Sesame Street, Dora the Explorer style kids show.
The show, produced by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council, is expected to come to life later this year.
The puppets, something happens and they become alive.
Its colorful characters and fun storylines are rooted in the island's culture. It was years in the making, and the hands behind the puppets are students with a passion for storytelling.
This show has, it made a huge impact. It helped me create bonds with other people. It helped me, become the puppet.
It's been a really great experience, challenging as well, but it's definitely one of the most fun event, and it's gonna be a core memory for me, especially being a part of the show.
With a band of volunteers across the show's course, helping hands weren't hard to come by, even when those hands sometimes hurt. After all, even the puppets were handmade.
I got the pleasure of watching them grow from the very beginning, from giggling and laughing as to how silly and how stiff their hands felt, to watching them hold their hands up and we're dying. And it was so good to see them embrace the character.
The motivation to create the show is driven by the conviction of its creators to remind the community that there is no better time to learn about your home.
I would like to see there be more, especially more programming that teaches the Chamorro language and culture in a way that's super accessible, to the younger generation. And that's everybody has eyes on the younger generation, right? So we have to meet them where they're at.
And where they're at? Well, you'll have to wait and see this fall, because they're running on Island Time. Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Saipan.
That was a great story. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but coming up, this week's newest inductee to the KUAM Culture Club, and still to come, Dave Delgado with the Weekend in Sports. Weekend Edition continues right after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Well, very fittingly, it is time now for this week's newest Culture Club inductee, and it's KUAM alum and super talented, Cami Egirola.
Culture Club is brought to you by Tropical Ice.
Hafide Zantiro Guahusi Kamidi Egirola, and I am a Chamorro environmental portrait photographer. I've always loved photography. I think that as a kid, I've always loved posing for pictures. I think I was always in front of the camera, if anything. And I think that after so many years of being in front of the camera dancing and doing a lot of photo shoots for other local brands on island, I found the love of producing photographs themselves, and I kind of picked it up as a hobby at first. Then it translated into my work. I have a background with Uno Magazine and KUAM Communications. Shout out. I love you guys because you guys really fostered my creativity, and I was able to do some photography work for the Uno Digital Magazine. So shortly after my time at KUAM was the pandemic, and during that time I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do creatively, and luckily I was with my dear friend Francesca De Oro, and she brought me into the climate justice movement with Micronesia Climate Change Alliance, and together we were able to produce a digital series called From Our Nanas for Our Nennies, and through that I was able to meet so many local farmers and Sainas in our community, and I was able to photograph them. I was able to photograph their farms, and it really just made me fall in love with our community more. Here on Guahan, we're at the forefront of the climate justice movement because we are on the front lines of the climate crisis, and it's a double-edged sword, right? We live in this beautiful place, but if we don't watch our actions and if people don't see up front the effects of the climate crisis, then we don't know what we're losing. So through my photographs, I really try to not only display the beauty of our island, but also the things that are at risk for being lost if we don't, take action and really respect our land, respect our oceans, and respect our community and the people around us. I think it's very easy for you to think that there's nothing that you can do with such a big topic such as the climate crisis, but I think one thing we have to remember as Micronesians, as Chamorros, is that inherently the space that we take up is enough, because we need to see more of Micronesian beauty. We need to see more of Chamorro beauty, and I think what I'm trying to do now is I'm really trying to push forward all of the art and beauty that our community has to offer. And if my photographs could do that, then I would love that. But for anyone who is looking into photography or anyone who is looking into just a creative career at all, I would just say continue to create. I know it's very cliche, but the more that you put out there, the more people will see your work and they'll be inclined to want to produce work of their own. And we just need a lot more Micronesian, and we need a lot more Chamorro art out there anyway, so create as much as possible.
All right, we really miss Cami. Really happy also to see her, and we wish her continued success. All right, please stay tuned. Sports, your weekend sports roundup with Double D is coming up after this.
If you really want to find out what you're made of, you can forget the personality tests and social media quizzes. Because the only way you're ever gonna know is by heading into the big, wild, raging, so damn beautiful it hurts world and finding out for yourself. Were you born to follow a path, or were you born free? These are the things we thought about when we made the new Grand Cherokee. Made for what you're made of.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G.
The GFA National Training Center was home to over 1,000 participants, volunteers, and supporters who took part in the inaugural FIFA Football for Schools Festival Jamboree. 16 elementary schools were represented, with a total of 32 teams playing friendly matches. Youth referees from the Triple J Auto Group Robbie Weber Youth League officiated the matches. The festival is only one component of the FIFA Football for Schools program. GFA has also teamed up with the Guam Airport Police to provide anti-bullying and character-building presentations at the schools. Each school team received a FIFA Football for Schools t-shirt to support the soccer training component of the program. GFA donated equipment such as goals, soccer balls, sets of bibs, cones, and markers to all participating schools. The AFC Grassroots Football Day Festival will take place on May 21st. The start of the first ever youth futsal tournament and league is scheduled for next month. Guam men's national basketball player Ernest Ross wrapped up his season with the Yokohama X in Japan. Ross averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. Ernest plays professionally in the Japan B3 League. Now for some girls' high school rugby between Notre Dame and Southern High.
Viva Sharks!
East Girls High School soccer between the Bulldogs and Dolphins. Ukadu looking to bounce back after a previous shutout loss to Southern High. The home team scored first, courtesy of Charmaine Mesa in the second minute of play. Things looked to go their way on senior night as Tristiana Santos added to the lead in the 34th minute of play off a penalty kick. The Bulldogs went into halftime with the 2-0 lead. Southern regrouped and scored 2 minutes into the second half. And Aaliyah Meno with the nice assist to Cindy. Put some respect on my name. Mastrocampo, who outruns the defender and gets the shot to go in the bottom left corner of the post. She was just getting started. 2 minutes later, Cindy gets around the defender and dribbles towards the goal, barely getting it by the keeper to tie the game at 2 apiece. Mastrocampo went to work again a minute later as Meno gave her another beautiful assist. Cindy splits the defense and goes right for the hat trick. Dolphins win 4-2 after Mastrocampo kicked through her 4th goal of the match in the 53rd minute. Southern High secures the 2nd seed heading into the playoffs with a 7-3 record. JFK is in 1st at 10-0. Ukadu is in 3rd at 5-4-1. Now for some footage from this year's Mariana's Open. St. John's Knights walked away with this year's IIAAG Girls Beach Volleyball Pairs title after defeating the Academy Cougars 18-21, 21-15, 15-11. Jada Alcantara and Cameron Thompson teamed up to represent the Knights on the beach court. The duo beat out Academy Sadie Gutierrez and Joanna Regis.
When we were down, she always brings me back up because I get mad easily. So that's where our chemistry mostly comes in. We always try to pick each other up no matter what the score is. We always say it's 0-0 and try to keep fighting till the end. I was really nervous to play on my birthday just because I didn't want to lose, but I'm really glad we did win. It's a nice present for my 18th birthday.
Jada Alcantara tied the game at 18 in the first set. Academy went on to score 3 straight points to close out the set, 21-18. Cameron took over in the second set. Thompson scored 3 points in a row to help build a 9-point lead for St. John's as they went on to win the second set 21-15. The Knights led by as much as 6 points in the final set before closing out the match 15-11.
We needed to work together and make sure that we talk and just keep our energy up the whole game. We played indoor volleyball and beach since last year. This is our last year together, and we really built our chemistry because, we worked really well together, I think.
Congrats to the Harvest Eagles for winning the IIAAG Girls Soccer Championship 2-0 over the Academy Cougars. Harvest scored their 2 goals in the first half, while their defense did the rest of the work in the second. Goalkeeper Gabby Moser kept the Cougars scoreless, coming up with 2 late saves that proved to be the difference maker.
Honestly, I just saw an opening, so I just took it. At first, I thought I was going to go over the goal, but then I went in and I was like, oh. So it was just a 50-50 for me, I guess.
Obviously, Harvest taking us in, we really appreciated it. They never made us feel like outsiders, and they embraced us like we were with them the whole time. It was so fun. It was more fun than I could have ever expected, and they just welcomed us like family and never made us feel left out. And the way we worked together just pulled through and, just always believed in each other.
We need to have a strong mindset, and if we do get scored on, just shake it off. And in order to finish the game, we need to give every minute of the game, we just need to give our everything. And we're given these 80 minutes to play, and we just need to play to the best of our ability all the time.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G. KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
It feels like we're in a time loop.
Because we get white hot ranch nacho fries every day?
Yeah.
Same dip,
different day.
Spice up every bite with the new white hot ranch nacho fries at Taco Bell.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Wednesday was National School Nurse Day, and their continued efforts did not go unnoticed. KUAM's Jonah Goncharfas has more.
They make sure that your children get the health services needed on school grounds, from checking for lice, providing ice packs, and ensuring medications are taken properly when scheduled, just to name a few duties of the men and women in scrubs. At the Teason headquarters, some lawmakers of the 36th Guam legislature on Wednesday presented a resolution to school nurses of the Guam Department of Education, commending our island's public school nurses for their continuous hard work. As restrictions have been lifted on the island, a luncheon was also held for them, as GDOE has not been able to host a celebration since 2019 due to the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic. Julietta Kaneni, the Community Health and Nursing Services Administrator for GDOE, highlighted that the school nurses weren't afraid 2 years ago to step out of their school zones and onto the front lines of the invisible war battling COVID.
We got that call from the governor. None of us hesitated. We were all proud to be up, get our foot testing going, and say we're ready to help our community. And today, we're here to celebrate that.
Reflecting on his nearly 10 years at the helm of Island's largest school system, GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez celebrated this honorous day with school nurses for the last time, as he intends to step down on July 15th. During his remarks, he thanked them for their services one last time before his almost decade-long tenure comes to an end.
We've gone through a very challenging time the last couple of years, so even when I saw you in 2019, and thank you for your work, today I just have to say, I don't think thank you is enough. You guys have been a part of this public health effort to protect our island, to help us respond, help us recover, and there's nothing that we can do or say that would recognize the depth of your contribution.
National School Nurse Day is celebrated between May 6th to the 12th. It was established to commend school nurses as they work to ensure students' well-being, safety, and academic ability while on campuses. This year's theme is School Nurses, Bridging Healthcare and Education. Meanwhile, Burnaby Mutuk, also known as Nurse Junior at John F. Kennedy High School in Tamuning, listed the treasured parts of the job.
My favorite part of my job is interacting with students and knowing their health and knowing what they go through each day. And sometimes student comes to my office, what they go through, something affect their studies, and also sometimes it also affect how they approach life. So we're not just taking care with the illness injury, but also take care of their psychological also.
Burnaby, who has been a school nurse since 2013, noted that containing COVID and contact tracing are the top challenging duties. However, despite how challenging the job can get for him, he continues to love what he does.
I'm really excited to come to my work, especially you have good support staff and also faculty at my school, and especially the admin are really good at helping me.
Governor Lou Leon Guerrero proclaimed May 2022 as Nurses Month on Friday. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonah Goncharfres.
One last bit of business to get to before we put this show in the history books. Your birthday shout-outs, courtesy of Cold Stone Creamery. On Saturday, May 14th, happy birthday wishes going out to Andy Santiago. Birthday blessings to a great dad, a great chef, and a great handyman. Wow, that's the triple crown right there, man. You're a great dad, a great chef, and a great handyman. You are a valued member of your family. So, Andy, your family says we love you, and I know they appreciate everything you do for them. But we celebrate you this weekend, and we hope you have a relaxing island weekend because you certainly deserve it. So, Andy, have a great birthday and a great Saturday. And that is going to do it, everybody. We thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Please stay safe.
Beyond our borders.